The electrical industry has been abuzz with new recruits over the last year or so due to the global health situation, which has left the rest of the job market in absolute tatters. And with the sheer number of apprentice electricians roaming around Australia at the moment, we thought it would be educational to take a look at some hazards present within the industry. But what are the most dangerous electrical setups in the world? And where are they most prevalent at the end of the day? Before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Number 1. Poor and defective electric wiring. Good quality wiring is of paramount importance when it comes to the adherence of electricians to the set of safety standards and regulations within the broader territory of Australia. But quality wiring is not available everywhere in the world, and since electricity is necessary for day-to-day survival, many find themselves making use of the best they can find in order to gain access to the power source. This is unfortunately the state of affairs seen in many of the poverty-stricken areas throughout the globe, ranging from the shanty towns in South Africa to the open fields of India. And since poor wiring can increase the chance of fires, power surges, arc faults, and other serious consequences, you'll never find a professional electrician attending such jobs, which are usually do-it-yourself projects. But although these dangerous electrical setups can be found in the poorer regions of the planet, those of us classed as middle and upper class shouldn't feel 100% safe from incidents stemming from poor or defective wiring. In fact, experts suggest that homeowners get their wiring checked on an annual basis by an electrical evaluator to ensure that everything is fine and well. Wear and tear is definitely a thing, after all, regardless of the quality of the wiring that was installed in the first place. And although it might sound useless to pay an electrician to evaluate a problem that may not be there at all, this makes up for the scenario where a problem goes unchecked and results in a terrible electrical accident. Also, be sure to check regularly for loose or improper connections, frayed appliance wiring, pinched wire insulation, cracked wired insulation, overheated cords, and of course, wires that show signs of being chewed on by rodents. Any of these can be an indication that you have a dangerous electrical setup that is looking to explode into something much worse. So, take the preventative steps to ensure that your family is safe. Number 2. Poor distance between outlets and water sources. It doesn't take an expert in the electrical industry to tell you that electricity and water do not make the best combination insofar as safety is concerned. This is why Australia has regulated the distance that needs to be drawn between electrical outlets and water sources. Ever wondered why you likely don't have a socket in your bathroom? Or why the socket in your kitchens are far enough away from your sink that you don't risk your own life when washing the dishes? Well, now you know. Simply put, the presence of water around an electrical socket can be extremely dangerous and result in a shock similar to one felt by sticking a metal fork directly into the socket. But as obvious as this may seem to the educated among us, the same can unfortunately not be said for those who have grown up without the education we have received. There appears to be a general lack of understanding in the poorer, less educated communities across the globe regarding the consequences of mixing water and electricity. In fact, one look at these communities and you'll be surprised to find exposed live wires in close proximity to outside showers and taps where the local children often play. At a young age, we learn from cartoons that toasters, hair dryers, and other electrical appliances should be kept away from water sources due to water's ability to conduct electricity. But what if we were never taught this like the poorest communities of Pakistan and India? We unfortunately already know what the detriment of this lack of education is, which is a sky-high rate of electrocutions across the board. Once more though, it's not just the poorer communities of the world where a lack of education regarding the use of electricity causes harm. Although sockets are an appropriate distance away from water sources, this doesn't stop people from washing their hands and handling live appliances first without drying off. And while the casings of these appliances often prevent damage, it only takes a little failure to get you to the pearly gates a lot sooner than St. Nicholas expected you. So as much as the collaboration between live wires and water makes for one of the most dangerous electrical setups in the world, it's a general lack of electrical knowledge which results in this in the first place. Number 3. The handling of electrical fires. Another dangerous hazard that is often experienced around the world is the handling of electrical fires, which not many people actually know how to put out effectively. And while this is not in itself an electrical setup, we felt like we had to include it on our list as it is one of the most dangerous effects of one. Unlike a common house fire, an electrical fire cannot be doused with water, regardless of what common sense tells you. In fact, electrical fires are often fueled by the presence of water, which could even go as far as to electrocute the person that is trying to put the electrical fire out. This is the reason why office buildings within Australia need to have a certain number of fire extinguishers per square meter, as the only way to effectively put out an electrical fire is by smothering it. And since not many office buildings have an excess of dirt and sand on each of their floors, fire extinguishers are the next best option. This is why electrical systems that do not have a fire extinguisher in close proximity are considered to be some of the most dangerous setups in the world, with an out-of-control electrical fire being dangerous to anyone who isn't resistant to both fire and electricity. The same can be said for businesses that have fire extinguishers on site but have failed to have them checked according to safety regulations in place. Remember, an extinguisher that doesn't work is just as bad as one that isn't even present. And when it comes down to location, the unfortunate state of affairs is that businesses all around the world slip up when it comes to employee safety. Sometimes it doesn't even matter how big or successful a company is. All it takes is for a building manager to be off his game for extinguishers to be ignored and electrical fires to spread, showing once and for all that electrical knowledge is all that is needed to combat this dangerous setup. Number 4. The presence of inquisitive children. Another factor that seems to lead to a few electrical accidents is one that electricians can't really do much about. You see, inquisitive children can't help but touch a variety of things that they aren't supposed to, and all it really takes is for a busy or negligent parent to not pay attention for a few seconds before disaster strikes. Young babies and toddlers are especially inquisitive and keen to explore the world. This is an important feature of childhood development after all, with parents having to offset this process by explaining to their children what should and more importantly shouldn't be touched. But since children do not always listen to their parents, those who are expecting children need to take a few steps to ensure that electrical appliances and boxes are well outside of the meddling of children. Parents who have young children waddling around should thus take the opportunity to buy socket stoppers from their local hardware store, which prevent a child from sticking anything metal into a plug socket and electrocuting themselves. And when it comes to electrical boxes, these should be locked up tight and be installed up high so that children cannot reach them. When children are present, the most dangerous setups in the world can be those that allow a child unrestricted access, as that is just looking for trouble. So when you are on the job and see that children are definitely a factor that need to be taken into account, be sure to take the necessary precautions. Number 5. The careless use of extension cords. Last but not least, we had to mention that some of the most dangerous electrical setups in the world make use of an abundance of extension cords, which, after being stepped on for a while, have a high rate of fraying. But it's not just the fraying of these cords that makes setups such as these so dangerous. In fact, mere presence of extension cords that are strewn about may be quite dangerous. Safe electrical setups have ensured that electrical cords are tucked away, which clearly prevents the danger of tripping when moving across the setup on a daily basis. The same can obviously not be said for extension cords that have been carelessly left lying about. Not only can tripping over a cord result in a harmful accident, it can also yank out important components, leading to further consequences that may be harmful. So, make sure that your electrical setup is nice and neat. And remember, if you're already an electrician running your own business or just about to start and grow your own electrical business, you must learn the 4 critical things electrical business owners wish they had learned before starting an electrical business, so you don't make the same mistakes. Electrician Accelerator has put together a free training video you can watch right now that will show you exactly how to start, grow, and build your electrical business the right way, so you can consistently guarantee profitable work, free up your time, all whilst reducing stress levels and allowing you to have a sustainable and more profitable business that works for you. In this free training video, you will also learn how to generate a steady stream of jobs on demand and with predictability month after month in your local area without relying on word-of-mouth referrals, how to stop competing on price with other electricians and escape your competition, how to convert at least 90% of your quotes and estimates into sales, and how to command premium prices and attract high-quality customers that will be happy to pay more. Make sure to click the link in the description and let us know what you thought about our list in the comments section down below.